Hey, it's Theo and thank you for joining me, and today we're going over the latest patch which will go live today, just a little bit, probably like an hour after this video goes live. And this patch, yeah, people were probably expecting more from this patch than what we're getting because, yeah, the meta has been pretty still for a while, right? The expansion didn't do much, the mini set, yeah, there was a mini set, let's put it that way. So people were looking for some big changes to get some life into this meta, have some new decks maybe pop up. But instead, we're getting this patch, which has no nerfs and a few buffs, which probably aren't going to be too relevant, I would guess, but we'll be going over all of that. Now, let's get started though first with the dev comment we have here. We'd like to share an update on the current state of Hearthstone and what to expect from this patch. The data shows a relatively balanced meta with no dominant power outliers or play patterns demanding nerfs. At the same time, the Day of Rebirth miniset didn't land as we hoped. No shit. This patch focuses on targeted buffs to help a few of those cards better realize their potential. Some of these changes support quest decks while also opening up new options across other archetypes. First of all, yeah, we don't have dominant power outliers, maybe, or play patterns, but that doesn't mean that, yeah, we should keep the meta like this, right? There's expansions for a reason, so we have new stuff to play with. Like, yeah, a meta may be perfectly balanced with every deck having 50% win rate, but after a while, that probably gets pretty boring if it's just the same decks over and over and over. And I think we can look at the stats for that as well with the current deck. So this is Diamond through Legend stats from the past week. And what we see mostly here is, yeah, the kind of the same old decks from quite a while ago, right? We have the, well, Leech Decay. I don't think this should be called Control Decay, but it's like Leech Decay, right? That's from the Great Dark Beyond, Fire Rogue. Technically, it's from the last set, Into the Emerald Dream, but it plays, feels like similarly to decks from last year with all the Scoundrel stuff, right? And Sonya had it back then. Now, the Quest Warlock, yeah, that's a pretty new deck, of course, especially after the buffs we got to it. But yeah, this deck, it's not super exciting because if you've seen one game of Quest Warlock, you've pretty much seen all the games, right? It plays like the exact same every game. And Protoss Priest, also from the Great Dark Beyond, with Quest Warrior. Yeah, that's the quest, but it's really Terran Warrior, also Great Dark Beyond. Now, Quest Paladin is new, but also not very exciting. It's more of a beginner deck and plays kind of the same every game. Armor Demon Hunter, Great Dark Beyond. Then we have the Spell Quest Mage, and yeah, this one is a new deck, right? Yes, it's Spell Mage again, but it plays very differently with the quest. So yeah, that is a good one to come out of the expansion. Heron Decay, it's like a new scam deck, I think. I've never faced it. Starship Decay is old. Beast Hunter, Nebula, Mech Warrior, Starship, Protoss Mage. I mean, all those decks, they've been around for quite a while, and yeah, the expansion did very little, the mini set did nothing, so yeah, it's not a very good spot to be in for the meta. We can also see that in top 1000, where it gets a lot worse. You can see here the popularity of these three decks: Fire Rogue, Quest Warlock, Control, Death Knight. Yeah, that's a 60% of the meta, over 60% easily. So I feel like this shows really, yeah, we need some buffs or nerfs to yeah, get some new decks in the meta, right? And yeah, this is just not what we're getting. Let's go back here. We understand that many of you were hoping for bigger changes. But as you said, yeah, we've seen a lot of feedback about the strong neutral package of Fyric, Elise, Narlex, and Ysera, and we'll be keeping a close eye on them moving forward. We've also continued to hear suggestions to buff nearly every new quest so they become competitive archetypes. However, as we've shared before, too many competitive quests in long term can lead to a metagame that isn't fun or healthy. I mean, if you don't want quests to be viable, then why make them at all? Like, we have a whole expansion based around quest. A lot of the cards in the set are there just purely for the quest, right? A lot of the cards around Quest Rogue literally only can be played with the quest. And if you don't intend them to be viable, then just half the set is completely useless. Like, I don't get the idea here. Why do we then make those quests? Like, just don't make them if you don't think you want them to be viable. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. More broadly, we believe future expansions are a better place to bring community feedback to life than trying to overhaul the current set through balance patches. We fell short of our goal of introducing enough new competitive options this expansion. As we look ahead to the next expansion and beyond, we're keeping your response to the set in mind and using it to help shape the future of Hearthstone. I mean, so basically, yeah, this we're waiting for the next set. It feels like with this patch, it just seems like they think it's a balanced state that they want to keep it in, and that shaking up gets worse. But yeah, just a very still meta. That isn't exactly what you want either, right? That just people just go away if it's the same deck over and over, and I just don't think that's healthy for Hearthstone overall. Now then, let's get to the actual changes this patch, because there are a few buffs that are worth covering. So let's start with the first one. The first one is the Egg of Kalos, or at least the Kalos is getting buffed. This is now a 2020 with Taunt, and we also have a commentary. We've seen a lot of experimentation with Kalos, often in combination with Dissolving Ooze. We want to preserve that synergy while also giving Kalos a stronger standalone presence by adding Taunt. Now, yeah, I think this buff makes kind of sense, right? Again, none of the mini set cards really see play. None of them are really worth playing, or like this maybe like the Fire Gale added to Murloc Paladin, which doesn't really change the deck at all. People have tried out the deck in so many different decks, and yeah, it didn't really work in any, but maybe with the Taunt on top of it, right, you can you get the egg out and actually immediately have an impact on the board. So yeah, small buff to it. We'll see if it actually sees play now. It might still not see play, but definitely a buff it needed. And the next card we have is Mirror XD Crystalline. This goes from a 3-3 to a 3-4. And yeah, as you saw earlier, right, Rogue is like 30% plus play rate in top 1000, so I don't really know why necessarily we had to buff this card in Rogue. It already felt like kind of a solid card. It doesn't quite make the cut, but I don't think it's too far off. And yeah, I don't think I really need to be buffing Rogue that this card is suddenly viable, and then Rogue becomes even better because they have a card like this. Because this card is such a pain to play around, right? Like if you want to play like a Shadow Block card, for example, yeah, maybe you're just scared to play it because of this one, right? I don't know if you necessarily want to be buffing this card, but we'll see if it will see any play. Next card we have is for Warlock, the Possessed Animancer. Goes from 6 mana to 5 mana. We've seen players tapping into the potential of Possessed Animancer with making it more efficient to use. Alongside that, we're also improving one of its favorite partners, Asphyxiodon. Wouldn't be Gigasaur if you tried using with another beast either. So buffing a card like this for 1 mana is pretty significant, right? This card tries to scam out a big card early, and the earlier you do, the just way better it gets, right? So maybe it will be viable, but still, I just feel like there's no really deck you want to play it in. It's the case for a lot of these cards in the mini set. Just there's no decks to play it in. Like, yeah, the card could be good, right? We have like the Hunter 1-drop. It's a really good card, but there's nothing to play it in right now. And I feel like it's the same case with this card. Right now you've got Warlocks with like Yor and Arcanite, and then yeah, it just feels like it's better than this one, right? Because this card, yeah, it gets a minion out, but once it gets cleared, that's it. The minion is gone, and you have no permanent benefit from it, unlike those other cards. I think maybe now if you cheat out the Ultra Gigasaur, right, maybe that card is finally viable, but I don't really see it happening. And then also, yeah, the Asphyxiodon gets +2 health. Yeah, it's slightly better, but the card's still not very good, unless you cheat it out. But yeah, I don't think that's happening either. And the next card we have is Ritual of Life for Priest getting buffed from a 2-2 copy to a 2-3 copy. And yeah, another card, right, like just what deck does this go into? We have the Quest Priest, but it's not a good deck. And it looks like they're not going to be buffing it either, so it's probably going to stay a bad deck until at least the next expansion. And this card, yeah, I don't really see you playing it in anything else. It's now maybe competitive with like the Dark Gift card, right? The Creature of Madness, but I still don't know what you want to be playing this card in. Then probably the biggest buff is the Ankylodon, going from an 8 mana 7/7 to a 6 mana 7/5. Yeah, that's a 2 mana buff, doesn't happen very often. So upgrading Ankylodon gives Hunter a powerful discover option through effects like Detailed Notes, while also making it a solid beast for Quest Hunter and other decks. I'm not sure if you want to play it in most Hunter decks though. It's still just a big minion that just the thought that you get 2 random beasts. But yeah, for only 6 mana though, it does a lot of things right. Better for discovers. Not sure if you want to play it in Quest Hunter, because you probably just don't want to be playing Quest Hunter is the main reason. But yeah, this is definitely a big upgrade for the card, because yeah, at 8 mana, this card was awful. Now then we have the Long Neck Egg, going from a 1-2 beast as Death Rattle to a 3-3 beast with Death Rattle, so that's a 4-4 beast when it summons. So yeah, that's a pretty big upgrade, but yet again, right, what does this go into? It's not necessarily even that great in a Quest Druid deck. It's more like a Token Druid deck, because Quest Druid mostly wants to get the weapon, and the weapon is the only buff they'll need. And this one, yeah, Token Druid, there just isn't really enough support for it right now, I think. It just doesn't quite work out. Yeah, this card is really good by itself now with the Death Rattle, but yeah, just still no deck for it. Then we have another rogue buff. We have the Costume Merchant going from a 1-3 to a 2-4. And this is certainly an upgrade, right? The stats are actually somewhat relevant now. But yeah, you're still getting a random mask from another class. And if you look at the cards you can get, right? Bat Mask, not really good in Rogue. Sheep Mask, probably not good either. It's very situational. Panther Mask, yeah, alright. It's pretty solid, but you're not really lacking card draw as Rogue. Devilsaur Mask can be pretty good if you're looking to push that damage, right? The 6 mana mask, and the Behemoth Mask could be good if you're looking for healing, but you already have Ziliax. Otherwise, it's just that big buff. So yeah, it's very inconsistent, this card. Feels like Rogue can just play better cards, right? Especially if you get the Mirror's buff, that seems better than this one. Just feels like, yeah, there's not really a good reason to play this card as well. And then the very last buff we have is Tor Totem, going from a 2 mana 0/4 to a 1 mana 0/3. Players already complete the Shaman quest fairly quickly, but we still wanted to give Tor Totem a small boost. Lowering its cost helps it contribute to quest completion, while also enabling earlier minion generation to fuel the payoff once the quest is complete. Yeah, it's a nice buff for the deck. I feel like it was already a solid card for Quest Shaman, but yeah, just the whole deck is just not good enough, right? Yeah, this will help it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to help it into viability. All the quest does is just play some minions. None of them are really that broken. The only broken thing you can do with the deck is like Shadow Block into the quest reward, but that's pretty inconsistent and that takes a lot of time to set up. And usually by then, yeah, the game is already over one way or another. And those are all the changes. So yeah, I'd say a pretty disappointing patch overall. Yeah, they explain why, but I just don't really agree with the reason why we're not seeing any changes, because, yeah, waiting another 1 month plus for the next expansion with, yeah, the same meta, it's gonna be pretty tough to keep playing the meta that we've already been playing for months and months, and yeah, some of these cards getting buffed, it might help a little bit here or there, but I don't think it's gonna be like a huge change towards the meta, which is really what this meta needed. Anyway, what do you think of this patch? Do you think, yeah, they should keep the meta like this, or do you agree with me that we needed bigger changes? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.